What's going on with all my billionaires out there? This the God Hoods Billionaire. Welcome to Hoods Billionaire TV. Big favor, big abundance. On today's episode, we gonna be talking about Lil Zay Osama gets caught with a switch in New York. Let's talk about it. So, Lil Zay Osama, I believe this is Chicago rapper, was out in New York, out and about in NYC. Was in a cab or Uber. No, he was in an Uber. I'm sorry. And left the Glock in there with the 50 with the switch on it in the car. When he left the Uber driver called the police, NYPD, let him know, hey, this guy left a gun in my car. They tested it, saw he converted it to a fully automatic, and they went and arrested him. Now, what do I feel about this? Number one, I definitely understand, you know what I'm saying, being from the culture that he's from, and all of these kids coming from the background that they come from, feeling like they need to protect themselves, feeling like they need to be secure, feeling like they need to have a way to protect themselves, right? So that's called getting security. Like, every time I hear some shit like this, it's like there's only one way that something like this can be resolved, and that's for guys to wisen up, spend some money on security. You see what I'm saying? If you in a city that you know you're not familiar with, you moving around with the locals and the natives, you need to have some security. You need to have a security guard. Running around with a switch in New York is just dangerous. You feel what I'm saying? They'll lock anybody up behind that shit. They done locked up Plaxico. Plaxico won a Super Bowl for these people. And for New York, he won a Super Bowl for New York City, shot himself by accident, and they still locked him up. So that just right there lets you know that they don't give a fuck who you are, what's going on. They will lock up anybody behind that gun charge shit. You feel what I'm saying? They locked Wayne up. They'll lock anybody up. You feel what I'm saying, nigga? You cannot be rolling with pistols in New York. They make the laws too strict, to combat gun violence. They will lock your ass up 5-10 years behind a gun case in New York. So I'm sure he knew that. He said that in interviews. He was aware of the laws in New York City and still decided to move with a switch. Now, if his fingerprint's not on that gun, he gonna beat that case. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know if they tested it for his fingerprints yet. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that yet. If they tested him for fingerprints and he had fingerprints on the gun, and his fingerprints were on the gun, then he kind of fucked. But if his fingerprints not on that gun, he probably gonna beat that case. Cause I mean, that ain't my gun. I don't give a fuck what he saw, what the driver saw. I didn't leave no gun in there. You know what I'm saying? So he get a lawyer to beat that. So hopefully that's the case, and his fingerprints not on it. If his fingerprints on it, he fucked, and he finna do some time. And when I say some time, I mean like, they gonna hit him with some years. That's just what they do in New York. We all know this. We all know in New York, they be blaming niggas. They don't give a fuck who you is. Eli Manning could get this man that won 2 Super Bowls in New York. If Eli get caught with a pistol in New York, nigga, they locking Eli up. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's just how they roll in New York. Ain't no favoritism, ain't no nothing. Nigga, they locking you up if you get caught with a pistol. Now, he recently reached out to Jay-Z and Kim Kardashian and said he was being targeted and all of this and all of that. I'm going to say this. Are rappers being targeted, now? Yes. I mean, but the reason that, in my opinion, that the police are targeting rappers is because they easy prey. You know what I'm saying? If it's a wounded zebra running around a bunch of lions and they can tell he wounded, they gonna go for the wounded zebra other than the zebras that's full strength, running around full speed, that's gonna be hard to catch, right? Why not go after the niggas that's on Instagram, showing they guns, showing they drugs, rapping about they crimes? You see what I'm saying? Wouldn't it just be easier to get those guys as opposed to the niggas that's doing crime, the way that criminals used to conduct crime, which is be as low-key and discreet as possible with your crimes? Like, I go after the easy targets too. Y'all promoting all the shit y'all done did on camera, y'all putting it in social media, y'all just putting it out there. So, like, of course that can happen. Of course, that's what the odds of some shit that's gonna happen, that you gonna get locked up behind some shit like that. Like that, what are, of course, I mean, it's just what it is. So, I mean, Jay and Kim Kardashian, I don't think they gonna be able to help you in this particular situation, especially if your fingerprints is on that gun. It's not like you being railroaded. These is just New York laws. I mean, that's what I think of the situation. But you know, free that man. You know, I pray he able to beat that case, because one thing I don't want to see is just any more black people locked up. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, especially for just some shit where it's like, okay, he can learn from this. But if he do end up having to go sit down, I pray he come out stronger and better. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. You know what I'm saying, about this Lil Zay Obama situation. Like, y'all feel like he gonna be able to beat that? Y'all feel like rappers being targeted? Y'all feel like they just doing crimes blatantly? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. This the God Hoods Billionaire. Big favor, big abundance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. This the God Hoods Billionaire. Big favor, big abundance. I'm gone.